In the cold silence of a distant, frozen sea, the ship struggles through endless ice. The wind howls like a warning, and the crew whispers of turning back. But their captain is driven by ambition, a desire to discover something no one has ever seen before. One night, through the thick fog, a strange figure appears gliding across the ice on a sled. Vanishing into the storm. The next morning, they find another man, barely alive. His name is Victor Frankenstein. Weak and trembling, he is brought aboard, and as he slowly regains his strength, he begins to tell a story so dark, so haunting, that it will change everything. Victor was not always broken. He was once a brilliant young man, obsessed with knowledge. From a young age, he was fascinated by the secrets of life itself. While others studied the world as it was, Victor wanted to understand how life begins, and more dangerously, how it could be created. As he grew older, he left home to study at a university. There, surrounded by science and discovery, his obsession grew stronger. He spent countless nights alone in his laboratory, pushing the limits of what should never be touched, until one night he succeeded. In a dark room, illuminated only by flickering candles and the crackle of electricity, Victor gave life to something unnatural, a creature. At first, he believed he had achieved greatness, but the moment the creature opened its eyes, everything changed. Its yellow skin stretched unnaturally over its body. Its eyes were dull, lifeless, yet somehow aware. Victor was horrified. What he had imagined as beautiful was monstrous. Terrified of what he had done, he abandoned the creature, leaving it alone in a world it did not understand. The creature opened its eyes to a cold, silent world. It could not speak. It could not understand. It only felt confusion, hunger, loneliness. As it wandered through forests and villages, people screamed at the sight of it. They ran or attacked. The creature learned quickly that it was not welcome, that it was hated, simply for existing. But everything changed when it found a small cottage in the woods. Inside lived a family, kind, gentle, and full of warmth. From the shadows, the creature watched them, day after day. It observed how they spoke, how they cared for each other. Slowly, it began to learn. It learned words. It learned emotions. It learned what it meant to be human. And for the first time, it felt hope, believing it could be accepted. The creature approached the family, but the moment they saw it, their kindness turned to fear. Their warmth turned to terror. They screamed and drove it away. In that moment, something inside the creature broke. Hope turned into pain. Pain turned into anger. And anger turned into revenge. The creature realized who had created it. Victor Frankenstein, the one who gave it life, only to abandon it. And so, it set out to find him. One night, near Victor's home, the creature encountered a young boy, innocent, unafraid. For a brief moment, the creature believed maybe this child would not reject it. But when the boy spoke Victor's name, everything changed. The creature saw him not as a child, but as part of the man who ruined its life, and in a moment of rage, it took the boy's life. When Victor learned of the tragedy, he was devastated. But deep down, he knew the truth. This was his doing. His creation had become a monster not by nature, but by suffering. Consumed by guilt, Victor traveled into the mountains, hoping to escape his thoughts. But there, high above the world, the creature found him, face to face. Creator and creation stood in silence. And then the creature spoke. It told its story, its loneliness. Its pain, its endless rejection. And then it made a demand. Create another like me, it said, a companion. So I will not be alone. In return, it promised to disappear forever, Victor was torn. He knew the danger, but he also knew the suffering he had caused. Reluctantly, he agreed. Once again, Victor began his dark work, but as the second creation neared completion, fear overtook him. What if they became worse? What if he unleashed something even more dangerous? In a moment of realization, he destroyed it. The creature saw everything, and its rage became unstoppable. "You will regret this," it said. "I will be with you on your wedding night." Victor tried to move forward with his life. He married the woman he loved, just hoping that the nightmare was over. But deep down, he knew it was in single quotes T. On the night of his wedding. The creature returned, not for Victor, but for what Victor loved most. By the time Victor realized, it was already too late. Now, with nothing left, Victor devoted himself to one final purpose. Revenge. He chased the creature across mountains, across oceans, into the frozen north, until his strength finally failed him. Back on the ship, Victor finishes his story. His voice fades, and with his final breath, he warns the captain, "Do not follow my path. Do not let ambition destroy you." And then he dies. That night, something moves in the shadows. The creature. It has come, not to destroy, but to mourn. Looking at Victor's lifeless body, it speaks one last time. It never wanted to be a monster. It only wanted to be loved. Now, with nothing left in the world, it disappears into the darkness, alone, forever. Asterisk. And so, the story of Frankenstein reminds us that sometimes the real monster is not the creation, but the one who abandoned it. Asterisk.